guys. If you want to get me out of my clothes, you need to buy the Angry Brothers Big Skull mug. On sale now.
Well, greetings, faithful followers. I'm Brother Jack Angry, along with Countess Boobula. And we're with the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakarama, myself, Brother James, the Countess, Inferna, and the rest of the gang want to welcome you to Chop Block's Horror Network. And remember, friends, let's keep America on top. Watch Horror Host, y'all. And you can do that on Chop Block. Anything you'd like to add, Countess?
Well, it seems like being spooky is in style these days.
So, good night and unpleasant dreams.
Sweet nightmare.
Well, greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, along with the lovely, ravishing Countess Boobula. And I know it's been a while since we've turned in a new episode, and that's all on Brother Jack. We've, had some, it's been, the holidays have been busy, and there's been a lot of illness in the family, and, Brother Jack's been under the weather several times, and, so it doesn't, unfortunately, leave a lot of room to get shows out, and we do apologize, and we will be picking up the slack here in the coming year, and so you can look for a lot of great stuff to come from the Angry Brothers. We've got a lot of great projects we've got a lot of irons in the fire, as it were, and you'll be hearing more about those. So anything you want to say, Countess?
Fighting off another plague.
There's been a lot of plagues going around here, especially in the office. It seems everybody's got something. Want to throw this out to all of our friends and fans and followers. Brother Jack and the Countess will be at the 42nd, thank you, Countess, the 42nd annual Groundhog Prom here in Omaha, Nebraska. That's Saturday, the 1st of February at the Sokol Auditorium. It's on 13th Street. I don't know the cross street exactly, but it's right across from the Burger King on 13th Street. You really can't miss it. It starts at 7:30 and goes till at least 1 a.m. Could be as long as 2 a.m. depending on the party. They'll have three really great bands. I don't remember what the names of the bands are, but you can Google that. Just Google Groundhog Prom 2020 and it'll take you right to their webpage. There's a Facebook group you can join up. This is one of the biggest alternative costume parties in Omaha's history, and it's been going on for the last 42 years. Brother Jack has probably gone the last 10 to 15 years, in disguise and out of disguise. A lot of great costumes, a lot of very attractive ladies in very lovely costumes. It's a great time, great bands. It's always a great crowd. It's done by the Knights of the Groundhog, and you're definitely going to want to check that out. Remember, the Groundhog Prom on February the 1st. It's a Saturday, 7:30 to 1 a.m. And I know that'll be your first one. Oh, we've got a virgin here.
Time to celebrate on Earth. I may even be debuting
a new look.
Yeah.
Ooh, can't wait to see that. And I know Brother Jack, our good friends at Angry Brothers 3D Printing, will have a few choice things for you. You'll just have to wait and see what they are. It's a surprise. But anyway, let's get on with the show. Tonight's movie is, and this is a long title, so give me a moment. I got to make sure that I say it all right. The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies. Or something to that effect. I think that's pretty close. Wow.
Good job.
It's like I can actually remember that phone number, but we can remember that title. And that's about as bad as our friend Oliver with his Oliver's Midnight Stoner friendly twisted freak show or some show like that. I just about get a hernia every time I try to say the title of his show. You're killing me here, Oliver. But he's a good friend of ours from Florida. Great horror host. You're definitely going to want to check him out. Anyway, tonight's movie, the incredible creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies. That is from the year 1964, and the plot of this film is a young man meets a stripper at a traveling carnival who is the...
Gypsy?
Gypsy. She is a stripper, but her sister's the gypsy.
Yeah.
Her sister's the gypsy. The one gal is the stripper, and he falls in love with the stripper, and the gypsy hypnotizes him to turn him into a zombie and a killer. And apparently she's been doing that with a lot of people, because there's a whole lot of people running around with that. And basically he tends to go on a killing spree, and there's a lot of mayhem and a lot of blood and people die.
A lot of moments where you say WTF.
Yes, a lot of WTF moments in this movie. It's, you know, I don't think I'm giving away any stretches in the plot when, you know, you watch this movie and the first thing you say is WTF. There are no zombies in this film.
Well, and the weird thing is, most of the plot is at the end of the movie.
Well, yes, most of the plot takes place. Yeah, most of the real drama takes place towards the end of the movie. But there's a lot of really great trivia about this, and a lot of really great goofs. To give you just a little tidbit of trivia here before we get into the movie, this movie was voted one of the 50 worst films of the 20th century by Rotten Tomatoes. And this was back in 2004 when they did that poll. But this movie came in pretty high. It was pretty high up there as far as rotten movies are concerned. I don't think any movie is particularly rotten. I think, you know, that this was the director's vision. The movie only cost $38,000 to shoot, and it was shot over a period of 4 to 7 days at most. The director, Ray Steckler, was really hard-pressed on his funding, so he had to be creative about a lot of things, particularly his camera angles, locations, and all of those things. But we're going to get into the movie here, so we're going to let you judge it for yourself. The incredible creatures who stopped living and became mixed-up zombies, here on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shockorama, and we'll be back at the break.
He's all tongue twisted
Yes.
now.
Well, you do that to me, and it's like, hi girls, enjoy.
You can't talk after you say that name.
Yes, I know. It's like, it does kind of just sucks all the brain power away from you.
Yeah, that's why I can't say that name right now. Like,
Okay,
my
well,
brain power's gone.
well, yes, and we'll try to get that back, you know, and Brother Jack will do a spell and try to get that back for you, but enjoy the show.
Look, then run for your life. Incredible is the word for the world's first monster musical. See in magnificent Eastman color, the daring, dancing, enticing, and horrifying, the incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed-up zombies. From the innocence of music and laughter comes the twilight of terror. Along the midway, scantily clad dancers luring the young lovers into the sideshows.
Choo choo. Shook out a shake. She gets a shook out a shake.
See the dancing girls of the carnival murdered by the incredible night creatures of the midway.
I will know that something evil lies ahead for me.
An unspeakable pit of dismal subhuman monsters who drool and gibber, moaning for the thrill of revenge. Incredible are the songs, the gaiety, the zombie stomp of those who will stop living. And then the mix-up, trickery, and the device to ruin. See the hunchback of the midway fight a duel of death with the mixed-up zombies, turning men into monsters, twisted, tormented human vultures, yearning to kill, incredible creatures clutching at the thin thread with their miserable lives. Human vultures, only the weird zombies remain.
Obey.
Who is the woman branded in birth wearing the wart of horror?
Do as Madame Estrella said.
The world's first monster musical. The incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up
Well,
zombies.
greetings, faithful followers. Welcome back. What did you think of the movie so far, Countess?
It's taking a long time to get where we want to get.
Well, that's true. I mean, there is a lot of... I don't even want to say it's build-up. It's like, my impression of Ray Steckler's directing was he was trying to get somewhere, but he was taking a very long way around to get there. With the story, we never really did find out about the gypsy's story, why she was doing what she was doing. Was it for money? Was it for power?
Why was her mole going?
Yeah, oh, and that's,
all over?
yes, and if you'll notice in several scenes, her mole would start out on the left side of her face, and then in the next shot it would move to the right, and then in the shot after that it would move back to the left. So maybe it wasn't happy where it was and it was trying to find a good position. We don't know.
Luckily, you're usually too busy trying to figure out what's going to happen instead of paying attention to the mole, perhaps.
Well,
Maybe.
you're right. You're 100% right on that, Countess.
Because it's just already so slow.
Well, yeah, the wandering mole was not the only technical goof in that film. If you'll notice, the carnival barker who died in the beginning of the movie, who was killed by the boyfriend after he was turned into the zombie by the gypsy, if you'll notice in later scenes, he was back again walking around very much alive. So it's like, okay, maybe they just thought they'd slip him in as an extra somewhere and they just didn't realize that, hey, we might all actually be paying attention to this.
Yeah.
Now here's another little bit of trivia that most people don't know, and I had to do quite a bit of research to find this. So if you watch the crowd scenes at the carnival, you will see an uncredited, very young James Woods. He had a job as an extra that he had gotten through a friend who was in the production company, and basically his job, as it were, involves just standing around with a horrified look on his face. Supposedly all the scenes were edited out when the movie was cut down to meet its time requirements, because they did go a little overtime on it. So if you watch the crowd scenes, you will see him. You will see him there. I tried to grab a still, but it was my computer equipment couldn't get that level of resolution. So unfortunately, you're just going to have to take Brother Jack's word for it that he is in there. Another little trivia about this movie: when it ran in theaters, particularly in the Midwest, to pump up the buzz factor and try to get the patrons engaged with the movie itself, the director, Ray Steckler, and the theater employees of whatever theater it happened to be playing at the time would put on rubber Halloween monster masks and chase patrons of the theater throughout the auditorium, usually at a part where the zombies were doing something, or a murder, or some particularly intense bit of acting was going on. And they would do that to basically get everybody's blood pumping and get the adrenaline up and get people all psyched up about the movie. Didn't work. Ray Steckler actually got beat up several times by patrons in the theaters. It's like, Ray, maybe you might not want to go up to the biggest guy in the place with a rubber Halloween mask on and try to frighten the dude. This is not a good idea.
No.
Well, I'm sure when he got that ass kicking, I mean, that might have dawned on him.
I wish they would have filmed that.
Yes, they should have. That would have been, they should have put that in the movie. That would have been funny. That would have been hilarious to watch this dude in the Frankenstein mask get the holy dog snot beat out of him by some Midwestern trucker. But you know what they say, an opportunity missed is an opportunity lost. And that was the case. I imagine he probably lost out on a lot of good opportunities. But the guy tried, so we have to give him kudos for that. So we're going to get on with the next half of the movie, the incredible creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies, here on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shockorama, from myself and the Countess Boobula. Enjoy.
Sweet nightmares.
3, 2, 1.
And now we take pride in presenting our main attraction, the very talented Miss Marge Nielsen and Mr. Bill Ward. Let's have a big round of applause for them.
greetings, faithful followers. Welcome back. What did you think of the incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies?
Well, it took a lot of time to get to the plot. A lot.
Yeah, a lot of time, and let's face it, you're not going to get that time back. So
Yeah.
that's an hour and a half of your life that you done lost, people.
An hour and a half. Or at least an hour.
There you go.
We
It's
got
like,
the last half hour.
unless you're multitasking, but you still lost some time, so deal with it, everybody. It's like, we don't make any guarantees about the movies, You pay your money and you take your chances.
Well, you know what they say about lost opportunity.
Well, yeah, it's like gonna have lost our. What do they say?
Well, I wish I could tell them. They could have done a lot more.
Well, yes,
with that
but
opportunity.
as we said, this movie was critically acclaimed as being one of the worst films in the 20th century. Not only did it get voted one of the 50 top worst movies by Rotten Tomatoes, it got a MS-3000 riff treatment, and I believe it got riff tracks as well. So that, in its own way, is a big honor for this movie. To get lambasted by the MS-3K crew is a big honor, and it pretty much says that as far as being a filmmaker, if you could crank out a POS like this and have MS-3K and their crew basically just lambaste the crap out of you, you've arrived as a filmmaker. You've actually made something that's going to stand up for the ages.
Well, you could definitely say that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wish the MS-3K crew would make fun of some of what we're doing. Oh, and that does bring me to an interesting sidebar here. I want to throw a big shout out to our friend Lee Turner, the host of After Hours Cinema from Gulfport, Mississippi. He is on WGUD out of Gulfport. He ran an experimental film piece that he'd done several years ago called Soft White Light. And Brother Jack and our own Inferna, we miss you, Inferna, we did the introduction to that, and that was cut into the episode. So Brother Jack actually made an appearance down in Gulfport, Mississippi. So if you're a fan of really good horror hosting, really good technical horror hosting, not that you don't love what we do, I'm sure, but it's like you want to check out Lee Turner and After Hours Cinema. Guy does a great job, very professional, kind of plays it in the Bob Stanley vibe, very straightforward, facts, trivia, that sort of thing. Great show, After Hours Cinema. Also, you can find him on Facebook, and you can also find him on the WGUD app on the Roku channel, or the Roku streaming box, I should say.
It's just a different flavor.
There you go. And Lee loves the Countess, by the way.
Highly.
He always sends his best every time we talk. Usually the first or second question out of his mouth is, "How's the Countess doing?" It's like one of these days we're going to have to get everybody together, either here in Omaha, or I'm going to have to pack up the crew and the Countess and everything, and we're going down to Mississippi. God knows it'd be warmer down there than it is here.
I'm used to warmer.
Well, yeah, I like the heat too. I mean, the last few days here have been totally miserable, cold, snow, rain, and all that happy horse crap. But anyway, next week we're going to be bringing you the 1981 British alien ripoff called Inseminoid. Yeah, that's a hell of a title, isn't it?
That's exactly what it sounds like, too.
Yes, it's basically, it's like there ain't no morning after pill going to take care of this problem, But, and it does star the very lovely Stephanie Beacham, who you would remember from Dynasty and a lot of English situational television. I believe she was in a couple of Doctor Who episodes back in the day. Great actress. and Judy Geeson, who you'd remember from the PBS special Danger UXB, which is what we've really got on our hands here is UXB. That means unexploded bomb. And we've got the biggest bomb. We deal with the biggest bombs in existence on this show. So you're going to want to check that out. In Seminoid, next week on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakorama. So from myself, Countess Boobula, Inferno, Brother James, Lady Torrid, and the rest of the gang here at the Monastery of Mayhem, let's keep America on top. Watch Horror host you all. Let's impeach Trump. And friends don't let friends wear lab coats.